What's up guys, it's Roger, and today we'll be playing some Trials of Osiris on Altar of Flame, a pretty darn good map when it comes to our blink for one big reason. We don't have that many roofs above us, so we can blink around pretty freely, get down lanes really quickly, and you'll be seeing that a lot in today's gameplay. Now, what's going to make this build so much fun is going to be right over here. The Wastelander M5, or really any lightweight frame shotgun that you want to use, but this is the one I'll be using today. You see, lightweight frame shotguns just got an amazing buff. What they did is they pulled in the pellet spread on these shotguns by 15%. That may not sound like a lot, you know, if you got a nutcracker inside your head, maybe he's telling you, hey, that's not really that good, but trust me, it's very good. And I can say after using this all day today, I am so happy. Lightweight frame shotguns have always been my favorites, and they've just been pretty bad for a while because they just can't one-shot that reliably. But now, they're doing it pretty darn good. You're going to see here I have a slide shot on right here, so we're going to get some reload every time we slide. That also boosts our range and stability, which is very good, obviously. 50 range, but then when that slide shot goes off, I think it's another plus 20, I believe. Over here we have Killing Wind as well, which is a pretty slept-on perk when it comes to shotguns, and I love it on my Wastelander. Now, this says Final Blows grant increased mobility, weapon range, and handling for a short duration. So we're going to be moving faster once we do get that first kill. We also get more range. I think I have almost maxed range with Slide Shot and Killing Wind procced. And the handling boost, of course, is always very nice, so we can swap off that weapon if we need to really quickly and come back to it. I really do like this role. I think you'll see a lot in the gameplay today. I'll talk about it when we get to the actual gameplay, but it just feels great. If you haven't tried these lightweight frame shotguns since they've been buffed, do yourself a favor, go have some fun with them this weekend. Even on a long-range map like this, they'll be even better than other shotguns, to be honest with you, because the thing about lightweight frame shotguns is they give you plus 20 mobility, and they give you a 6.25% sprint speed bonus when you have them in your hand. So that's going to help you cross the map even faster than you usually could with another gun on. Pairing with that, of course, it is a long-range map, so you're going to need something in your arsenal that can actually help you win those long-range fights. So I went the player slants right here. You know, this is something I didn't see a single other person using today, but you shouldn't sleep on this gun. It's actually a very, very solid scout rifle. The perk coming in with a perfect fit. I'll point that out to you when it works in the gameplay today, because when it actually works, it's such a good perk. You can track people through walls with the little ticks of the scorch damage it applies. It'll just do big Mondo area of effect damage, all this different stuff. It has a pretty nice scope that feels real nice with a really good red dot. Everything about this gun is just very nice. Now let's go ahead and break down our mods here really quick and our armor. Of course, I'm going to be using a classic Astrocyte Burst build just so I can use the Astrocyte Burst benefits of plus 30 airborne effectiveness to any gun that we have in our hand. Awesome, right? On top of that, it's going to let us blink more often. It's going to have less cooldown, you know, on our blink. We're going to be able to blink further. We do keep our radar up as we go through a blink, which is very good when you're playing with a blink shotgun playstyle. A lot of good stuff coming in from this Astrocyte Burst, and of course, on top of everything, it just is dripped up as hell. I mean, look how good I look right now. You know, your boy's looking good. Now you can see here with our mods, pretty simple stuff. We have targeting and some unflinching for our player slants. I have 3 ways to make orbs of power, being our heavy-handed, our firepower, or our Reaper. Go ahead and pause at any point if you do want to read any of these mods more in depth. Now, once we get those orbs of power, we're going to be using these 3 mods down here: Absolution, Innervation, and Orbs of Restoration. So essentially, you can pause again if you want to read these more in depth, but when we pick up Orbs of Power, it gives us a bunch of ability energy back. It's just how I like to run my Guardian personally inside of PvP, so I can always have my abilities up. Now, last but not least, we do have on 2 bomber mods. These are going to give us about 20 to 25% of our actual grenade energy back whenever we cast our Rift, so pretty good stuff right there. You can see when it comes to our Void 3.0, it's pretty simple stuff. I don't usually change this too much because after using this for so many hundreds of hours in Crucible, I know what I like and I know what's very good. Now, when it comes to it, we do have a Nova Bomb Vortex, we have Healing Rift, we have Blink, of course. If you want to be some little floaty Fred, you can do that, but I'm a blinky man myself. Now, over here, we have Pocket Singularity. You know, Bungie really likes to give us a lot of other good choices, but I think I'm just going to go with Pocket Singularity. Now, right here, I have Axion Bolts on. These are very good, especially on long-range maps like this. You're going to see a lot of times in the gameplay, you can throw these down a lane. They're going to start tracking your enemies, which you can shoot and combo with very well with your long-range weapon, or you could even pull your shotgun out and push the enemy while they're running away from this Axion Bolt and pinch them with your Axion. So it's very good stuff right there. You're going to see in our aspects right here, we have Feed the Void, and we have Child of the Old Gods, or as we call him on my channel, Clarence. Now, Clarence is my son from the Void. He's going to go out, he's going to suck people's toes, suck their booty cheeks, whatever he's got to do to look like a $5 hooker just got an upgrade. Now, when this guy does that, you're going to get some grenade and melee energy back. He's going to weaken the enemies, like I said, do a little bit of damage, so it's really good stuff right there. Of course, Feed the Void will proc our Devour off any ability kill. That does include Clarence, just so you understand. And once we have that Devour, we can keep going on better tears of our enemies and get a bunch of energy back on our abilities. Now, when it comes to Our fragments, we have Echo of Dilation, my favorite in the entire game. This says while you're crouched, you're going to sneak faster. Awesome. But on top of that, it gives you a very in-tuned radar. That's going to let you pick apart exactly where your enemies are, so you know exactly when you should be aggressing upon them. Now after that, we do have Echo of Persistence. That's going to let the initial proc of your Devour go from 10 seconds to 15 seconds. Obviously very good stuff right there. Echo of Expulsion is going to let our ability kills explode a secondary time, so if enemies are holding hands like those kindergartners used to do when they would go down a line, just everyone was holding hands because, you know, we don't want little Timmy wandering off into the side of the ocean, I guess. Well, you know, if they're holding hands like that, then they're going to blow up and probably die. So very nice stuff with that. And then we have Echo of Vigilance. So when you do kill somebody, while you have your shields broken, you get a full void overshield so you can keep going on to the next enemy with a little bit more bravado. In case you're interested in the drip, I know some people are. Here you go. Break it down for you guys if you want to see all that. Pretty simple stuff, but I think it looks pretty good. And with all that said, I think we're ready to go ahead and get into this gameplay. I did get a flawless. I haven't played the game in 2 weeks. I came back and on my first card I got a flawless. So this build was doing very good work for me. I felt pretty good. My shots were on point for the most part. And I had a pretty fun time, to be honest, just not taking it too seriously. And it worked out pretty well for me. I didn't even use... I used one Mercy, I think, on the way there, but not too bad at all. So hopefully you guys do enjoy that gameplay. If you want to leave me a like or subscribe at any point, or join my channel membership, go click the join button below this video and you can become a puffer person, or a little puff. But if you're not interested in any of that, you just want to watch the video and enjoy it, that's completely fine, and I appreciate you just as much as anything else. Now, all that being said, let's go ahead and get in this gameplay, so without further ado, let's blink on into it. Now, I think I touched on this in the intro, but again, I haven't played for about 2 weeks, and honestly, it's a couple of different reasons, mostly because I had some real life stuff going on, so I had to take a little break, stepped away from the game, and honestly, it's been one of the best things I've done in a long time to help my play. You're gonna see, this is the first game that I came back after not playing for 2 weeks straight, and this is my first card, and I got a flawless on it, and it just was good. Like, it felt good. I actually had a decent time where it's harder for me to have a good time in Destiny nowadays, but I did have a pretty good time today, and I think it's because I was just kind of warming back up and letting myself enjoy the game where possible, and I think that worked really well for me. Will that keep continuing? I don't know. We'll see, but I think I kind of had a bit of a epiphany, you know, where I was like, I think part of the reason why I get so mad at this game, and why probably a lot of other people do too, is because we just play it too much, to be honest with you. Now, I have a pretty good excuse because I like to make videos for you little sugar nuts, so that's a good excuse to keep playing it, right? But at the same time, I think it really just wears on my mental more than I really thought it did, because it's the same stinky crutch type stuff over and over, it's the same toxic player base, and eventually you just get really sick of that. But coming back today, I was like, you know, I think I'm going to make a new little goal to just play the game a little less. Just play it with friends to have a little bit of fun, but don't do those like 8-hour sessions in a row. Even if I can't get a flawless or whatever, I'm trying to help my friends get a flawless and I can't get it for them, like, just don't do it, because it's just not worth it. So I implore you guys to, if you're just not having fun with this game or whatever, don't keep playing it. I know you kind of sit there and you do the same thing that I do, where you're like, oh, well, I'll get a good match, you know? Same thing when you get to the end of the night and you're like, well, I need a good match before I get off. No, you don't. You really don't, Jimmy, because you can get back on tomorrow and you can find that good match, pal. I'm going to tell you that much right now. You just don't need to stick it out. Don't force yourself to. It's just not worth it. But all that being said, we can also talk about this gameplay a little bit. As you're seeing, I'm having fun with the Polaris Lance, holding down lanes, using our blink to get to lane very quickly, as you're going to see, like right here. I got to lane before anybody else, and you're going to do that in most parts of the map. This is a map where I actually do want to clarify some things. So a lot of times I tell you that blink is the fastest movement ability in the entire game. And that is true for the most part, but there are some caveats. So, namely, we want to talk about using the grapples on Strand, because you can be beaten to lane by a Strand user if they're really good with their grapple. So keep that in mind. That's one thing. Get a nice little two-piece here with the Wastelanders. You can see it's mapping pretty good, and we'll talk more about those lightweights in a little bit. But the Strand can beat your blink to lane, even if you have Astrocyte Verse, it can happen. But look at this, like this guy shows up, and I was already completely set up because I have Astrocyte Verse blink, and because I had that advantage, I was able to proc my perfect fifth, smack his second buddy's bussy straight into the fucking dirt, and then my teammates clap up the last one. And that's what I'm saying. You get to lane so quickly with your blink, especially places like right here. You can see I'm setting up here a second time in a row because it's a place I really like setting up, get a nice rift down, and again, I even had time to place my rift and then start shooting before the enemies were even completely set up. And that's how quick your blink is, especially coming from the side that I was there against the other side, which is a very quick side to get to for the enemies. Gotta call out this guy. I mean, oh my god, so annoying, just floating above me. And I was like, okay, bro, you think you're cute with it? You honestly think you're cute with it? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna rip your fucking jeans open from the back, grab your bussy, and shake it up like a goddamn ketchup bottle. Shake my head at that guy, said, no, 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 you tried floating around in you, Jimmy, but it just wasn't enough for you, but it was cute, it was cute. Now, besides the strand grapple, there's not much other stuff that's going to beat you to lane. I know people think that the Titan skating and the Warlock skating, whatever, is super fast, and don't get me wrong, it obviously is. Pretty good airborne effectiveness right here. I want to show you guys this. I'm going to hit another headshot on this guy when I jump again. Plus 30 AE from my Astral Cypher, so keep that stuff in mind. But even with that kind of skating techniques, which can be very fast, they will oftentimes be a little slower than our Astral Sight first blink and or about equal with it. That guy's going to backpedal me, but luckily teammates followed up really well. And that's a clip I kind of wanted to leave in there just to show you guys how good those shotguns are mapping, because I did pretty good damage with my shotgun from that range. But also, Immortal SMG is still good, by the way, just in case you're wondering. We'll talk about that in a different video or something. But yeah, that gun is still going crazy this weekend. It's definitely worse, don't get me wrong, with a target lock nerf, but it's still very good, just as any other aggressive frame SMGs or SMGs in general are. So keep that in mind. That gun is still going to be frying your pussy cheeks pretty frequently this weekend. This is a good clip though to show you that team shotting is very strong this weekend. Anytime you have a map that has very long ranges, team shotting is going to be something that is extremely strong. If you have teammates, especially if you're actually in an organized stack, I was just solo queuing here, but if you are in a 2-stack or a 3-stack, make sure you guys are organizing your actual weapons and loadouts a little bit and your peaks together. So you can do things like this round, where we knew this guy was locked in that left corner, so we wanted to kind of team shot a little bit. So I have Clarence taking some shots. I back myself as far as I can to the right side. I hit this guy in the head once, and my teammate hits him in the head once perfectly right when he peeks, and that beautiful team shot takes him out. Now I wanted to see if I could kind of get aggressive on that res and not let him just get away with resing it. So I blink above this guy, smack him in the bus, throw out my pocket singularity, put him in the dirt. And that's the kind of stuff you need to be looking for when it comes to the aggression with your shotgun. I always try to tell you guys to have measured aggression. And what I mean by that is looking for your actual entrances into a fight to be effective. So when do we want to go in? Well, I just got that first pick, so now I can go with my shotgun, absolutely bussy blast that kid back to the Stone Age. Now, his teammate over here is trying to ride around on the fucking Mastodon, but he's not going to quite get that off on us because my teammate's flying and help me out to take that guy down. So that's what you got to look for. You got to throw in these axioms at the beginning of a round. You got to take shots with your scout rifle, your pulse rifle, whatever you have on. But once you see that good situation where, okay, I can go in aggressively now, you got to take the actual initiative to go and press the advantage. Like right here, I knew that guy was low, so I push on top of him. I know this other guy was around outside, so I start flying on top of him. I then start hearing he's trying to go for a fusion crutch, right? All he wants to do is just charge that fusion rifle on me. So I use my blink to bounce myself off the wall and get behind him. He gets stuck inside of an animation of his shield going up, and my teammate's on the other side of that shield anyways. So if he wants to walk through that shield, then he can go ahead and do it, right? My teammate will turn him into some fucking goulash. But if he wants to sit behind the shield, then he's already burning for my teammate, and I can easily finish him off just like I did right there. Now let's take a little pivot and let's talk about these lightweight frame shotguns a little bit more. I know I've been edging you around a little bit, and if you like getting edged, that's fine, but I don't want to be the one doing that to you. We don't have that kind of relationship, pal. So here's the thing. These lightweight frame shotguns always felt pretty good. They've always been my favorite kind of shotgun in the game, my favorite archetype. However, when they had gotten nerfed, I went over to precision frame shotguns. Oh, be careful of that head glitch right there, by the way. That's a very good head glitch that the guy was holding on me. Unfortunately for him, I actually do know how to hit some bullets, so I was able to 3-tap him pretty easily. Now, as I was saying, precision frame shotguns became my favorites. I started going to them because they actually had good range and they could map very well. Now, lightweights just kind of fell off because their damage profile is much lower per pellet, and they don't have the range that you do with those precision or aggressive frame shotguns. On top of the fact that a long time ago, they changed how shotgun pellet spread works. So essentially how it used to work, in case you're not in the know on this, it was always RNG pellet spread. So you had about a circle, a little oval on your screen, or I think it actually was a circle, and the game would say, anywhere inside this circle is where your pellets can hit the enemy. But it's going to be a random formation. And it made it very hard to actually get very consistent one-shot kills with your shotguns because you kind of had to play a guessing game. Are my pellets going to hit in a proper fashion inside this guy's bussy mark? Or are they going to bounce off and start kissing his girlfriend on the New Year's Eve? Well, you don't know what you're going to get, and it made it very hard to be quite efficient with your shotguns, but eventually they changed it, right, to what we have nowadays. And nowadays it works like this. Every single shotgun archetype has a set pellet spread. So what you're going to see with lightweight frame shotguns is they have a diamond for their actual shotgun spread. which is not the best when you think about it. Let's look at the facts of why precision frame shotguns are so good. Well, they have a higher damage profile on each pellet. Makes sense. They have a farther range. Obviously, that's very good. But on top of that, their pellet spread is ovular. It's just a little oval in the middle of your screen. Now, when I was a kid, I used to watch a show called Roly Poly Oly. Essentially, everybody in that world was made out of fucking building blocks. This little dude that was the star of the show, he was made out of circles. And let me tell you, that little guy, he was absolutely nutty with it. That guy just crushed life. And that's because anything shaped like a circle is pretty darn efficient. But when you walk around the corner and you look at lightweight frame shotguns, they have a diamond as their shape. That's their pellet spread, a diamond. Now, when we think about that, there's a very big reason why that's not so good. I let that guy die to Clarence because my boy was hungry and he needed to get a little bit of snack, so I let him die. And also, since I let Clarence kill that guy, I got Devour, so I kind of just BM'd him and walked away. But as we were saying before, the diamond's not very good because it's hard to get the entire enemy's hitbox hit by that pellet spread. Because what's going to happen is the edges of the diamond on the left and the right are going to start falling off your target, right? They're going to start going on the sides of them. And so you're going to miss pellets quite often. You can see right there, it's pretty spot on, and then I actually whiffed my shot, and then I started jumping around like a fucking bunny trying to punch this guy in the butt cheek one last time. Even if he had a little Brazilian butt lift going on, I was going to be able to deflate that butt cheek if I could just punch it. Luckily, my teammates rolled in like the good merry boys they are and helped me finish that guy off. Now, again, with these shotguns, that diamond pellet spread is not so good, but now that that actually has the pellet spread brought in more, 15% smaller pellet spread, I have noticed it's very, very good nowadays. You know, with this new buff, it feels great. I definitely implore you to go ahead and try out these lightweight frame shotguns this weekend. I know you might think that it's kind of the antithesis of this map because this is a long range map that you don't want a shotgun on, but trust me, you can still make it work, especially if you have good blink techniques as you're seeing in the gameplay today. Now, you're going to see here, when I was talking about earlier, Immortal is still very good, but this guy, I just had to put him in the dirt really quick, so I flew up and I was like, no, baby boy, you're gonna sit down really quick, okay? I know you want to hop around like a little fucking grasshopper and spray me down with your Immortal of Death. Oh, fucking Frostbolt told me this is the best gun in the game. No, hate the Frostbolt, I love that guy. But you feel what I'm saying. Sorry, pal. It might still be one of the best guns in the game, but you're not one of the best players, so that's why you're gonna get your bussy bop slapped just harder than a clown at the circus. I had to put you in the dirt there. It's just how it is. Now, we are getting to the last few clips here, so I do want to say thank you guys for watching. Again, if you do want to leave me a like or subscribe, I'd very much appreciate that. I will have my Hunter build coming out either later tonight or tomorrow, probably tomorrow, if I had to guess. So if you're interested in seeing that, then go ahead and make sure you are subscribed, because you can go ahead and watch that tomorrow. I think I'll have a fun build coming out, probably with some more lightweight frame shotguns. I think I'm going to try to use one in the energy slot, actually. I'm thinking maybe actually going for the Retro Futurist or the 7th Seraph CQC shotgun. Oh, which I do want to mention, if you guys haven't seen Zur this weekend, he's in the hangar. So he's in the tower, he's in the hangar, right? He's selling a 7th Seraph CQC shotgun, which is a lightweight frame shotgun. It actually has Vorpal on it, which is not very good, but it has Quick Draw on it, which is something you always want on your shotguns if you can get it. So I implore you guys, if you don't have a good 7th Seraph shotgun, then go to Zur at the tower and make sure you pick that one up, because especially with the new buff, it's a very good shotgun. The actual little reticle on it is very nice. It has a very good gun feel to it. So I think you guys will enjoy that shotgun. So make sure you do pick that up in case you haven't checked and knew that he had that. So just want to tell you guys that really quickly. Coming into our last clip here, when I actually did get my flawless. Some of these clips, like that one, was actually after my flawless, but I wanted to put my last clip where I went flawless in the game for you guys. I actually got the well, you're gonna see what I get in terms of rewards when I get to the lighthouse chest, but I got the the emblem where you are never behind in any of your matches. I got that unlocked on this card, which is very good, so I was proud of that. So now I can rock that emblem, so you'll see me using that in the future. A little bit of a flex. Your enemies see you join a trials match and you have that on, they usually shit their little britches a little bit. Now we're gonna see the loot that I get when I get to the lighthouse here, but here's the thing, I got one piece of good loot, but I didn't get the actual Astral Horizon, which is the Adept this weekend, because there's a glitch right now where sometimes when you open your lighthouse chest, you just don't get an Astral Horizon this weekend. So I was one of those lucky few that got that bug. Maybe everyone's getting it, I don't know, but I just did not get a shotgun. But what I did see was that on the ground, and I went, hold on a second, was that a ship? Oh yeah, baby, it was a ship. I had to delete one of my stinky ships out of my inventory here really quick, so I go ahead and I did that, and I picked this up, and you're gonna see I got this nice ship, so I was like, that's a good reward for Papa Roger. I feel good about that. Now, all that being said, it is at the end of the video here. Again, if you don't leave me a like or subscribe, I'd very much appreciate that, but it's gonna be it for me today, so as always, have a great day, Guardians.